What's going on, guys? How we doing? Hope everyone's good. No face cam today. How we doing though? Is everyone good? I hope so. I got a bit of a sniffly kind of. You can probably hear it in my voice. Kind of like a cold almost. So remember yesterday we were saying about this price action here, on Euro GBP. Let me find that. Oh, my mouse is playing up at the moment, guys. It keeps disconnecting for some reason. I don't know why. I thought it was the USB, the port. But then I changed the port and it's still doing it. So I'm guessing it's the mouse itself rather than the connector. But then when I move the connector, it goes on and off. So I can't work it out. But either way, here, we'll get a new one soon. This area right here, we took it out and then we formed an area around here for longs. And we said this is the area you want to go long from. Not really ideal because the stop was pretty large. But we were saying push up into these highs, right? 4 hour, and then ultimately heading into the daily. That played out yesterday beautifully. Yesterday afternoon, we came beautifully up into, this is the area I was talking about. See what I mean about if you're entering here? I mean, it doesn't actually tap in, but the principle is the biasing. We take out the lows we ran to the upper areas. If we're long, we're buying from lows until highs. So that's the principle we need to always remember. It's always about the Orion understanding. The keep it simple biasing. The keep it simple principle. So we had a counter right here. The counter area is right here. Why is it counter? Well, it's counter because we're looking for a bearish move on this pair. But we took out the daily low. So it gave us a counter move area. If you've watched the counter trend video here on YouTube, then you would have seen the principles of that being taught. Talking about that, actually, let me go and have a look. So we've been posting on Rumble lately. So if you're on Rumble, you can find me. My name's slightly different on Rumble. It's Trade with Ross on Rumble. And we are going to start streaming on there in the new year, I think. We're still going to be YouTubing, but we are going to shift across to there. And we are going to stream on TikTok as well, but it's going to be a different style of stream. It's going to be more of a talk to me, ask me questions stream rather than teaching, because they have a very strange policing system on that platform, and it doesn't make sense to get banned doing something we can do on another platform. We'll just funnel through everybody that wants to watch can come to YouTube and watch, right? Because we're literally just doing this, but on TikTok, and we got a ban for it. So it don't make any sense to try and do it again and wonder if we'll get banned. So how is everyone? I see you joining here, guys, slowly trickling on in. Another super busy morning. My other business is starting to really pop off, and it's good, but it's also annoying because I prefer to be doing trading than. The other thing isn't a lot of work, but it's a lot of just moving things around, you know? A lot of filling out paperwork. Boring shit. Uh, so Christmas is coming up, guys. We're not far away now. So I'm just tracking the 15-minute lows here. And this is because we're doing a forward testing case study now on the LTF. For anyone that's wondering what that means, it's the new version of Orion. Well, it's not new version, sorry. Slightly different version of Orion, which focuses on a lower time frame. And if you're already fully, versed with the Orion system, just by me doing this, you will know immediately what the principles of that LTF are. And if you don't know, then unfortunately you'll just have to wait until we release it, or you have to go and learn the Keep It Simple series itself, and then you'll know. But it's pretty simple, exactly the same as the Orion system itself. But we're just doing some case studies, moving forwards. So we're looking for long again on GU, or GJ, sorry. We're looking for long up into the high. Okay, I just need to move some money from an account quickly. If it's cleared already. Okay, that hasn't cleared, so that's fine. So it is 1:30. We're only going to be doing a short stream here today on YouTube. We're just going to be having a short stream here. How is everyone? Hope everyone's good. Make sure none of that stuff is visible on the hourly. Oh, I'm definitely getting a little cold before Christmas. What's going on, Nick? Hope you're well. So remember, guys, the Keep It Simple system is there to be learned. It's completely free. It's not a paid for service. It's not a product that you're paying over the odds for. It's completely free. So you have no reason not to go and learn it and be able to say, I know how to use this system properly. I don't like it, right? Cool. Or learn how to do it and say, cool, like this, enjoy it. Ultimately, you'll be able to backtest it and you'll see the data that comes through from it. Don't just take my word for it. Back to 100%. As in, you're better now? Because you were quite ill, weren't you? Right, I'm just going to run and grab a tissue so you guys don't have to listen to me sniffling and snuffling. Right, I'm back. Yes. Okay, good, good. Glad you're better, mate. That's the main thing. Health is worth more than wealth. Tell you what, though, that temperature and half setting in, isn't it? God, it's starting to get so cold. Well, for me in the UK, anyway. Oh, stupid mouse disconnecting, honestly. I just hear it goes bum. Cool, so these are our targets. Yeah, boy. I'm actually going to have to plug my other mouse in if it keeps doing that. I'd say I'm glad that I don't game as much as I used to, because if I game as much as I used to, I would have been so pissed if my mouse kept disconnecting. Cheers, Ricky. Appreciate it. What's up, Nick? Nick times 2. Nick times 5. Sorry guys, if you're wondering why I'm going quiet every so often, it's because I'm having crazy sneezing fits. And obviously I'm muting you guys so you don't have to hear me sneezing and sniffling and schnuffling into a tissue. My mouse is disconnecting constantly. Sorry guys. Right, I think we're just going to go straight to the wired mouse because this is a bit of a pain in the ass. Let's unplug that. Okay, looks like it may have come to the end of its time. Which is unfortunate, that's why we keep a spare mouse just in case. Because you never know. Here we go. Right, we're back. There we go. Now this won't disconnect because it's not wireless. Okay, I do apologise again, guys, for the sniffling and the snuffling. It's very, very irritating on my end, and I'm not having to listen to it. So I do not envy you guys right now. So I won't be offended if you guys tell me to shut the hell up. Because I feel like telling myself to shut the hell up. I hate having a snotty nose, though, because unfortunately for me, my parents have really bad genetics in the nose department. And I've had a deviated septum for the longest time. I mean, for as long as I can remember. So even on a good day, my nose doesn't really work. So when I am a little bit bunged up, nose gone. I'm pretty much talking with my nose being held. Like, if I hold my nose, it doesn't make any difference to the sound of my voice, which is kind of crazy. So a big push up here on gold. Now we are bearish, so I don't know why I'm highlighting those. Again, this is a case study here that I'm doing to go in line with data that we are collecting currently. Cool. So, are we bullish on you, Chef? I believe we are, aren't we? Yes. Now, there was a setup that happened in here this morning which didn't work. I remember that because I had an alert go off for it. I didn't trade it because I wasn't actually on the charts, and I think it was quite early. I think it was like, it was here. It wasn't that early, it was like 8:30. But yeah, unless I'm in the office, I don't tend to take entries. Unless we have, well, when we have the Orion system and it sends you all the information you need, you don't have to actually analyze. Then I'll probably just take them whenever because I know the Orion system's doing its job. What's everyone got planned for the weekend then? So we've got an alert here. Let's see what this does. We get down into here. Relax and party. Nick, you sound like a man of culture. That's the right way to spend the weekends, my man. Although, go easy. I'm not even. I'm not in my. I'm not in my 20s anymore. But I definitely feel it. If you go out and you have a bit of a heavy one, whew, you feel it. What's going on, Trader Pro? What's happening? Bitcoin dumping nicely. Let's have a look. I don't really pay too much attention. I'm holding it long term rather than anything. Oh yeah, 95, 94. It doesn't surprise me. End of year profits getting eaten up. See, we got took out the low. Got no 4-hour lows in there. So this is your first money in since we dumped down below that daily low. See, this is a good example of the end of year profit taking that occurs. Because you think we're 5 days away from Christmas. This weekend, everything's shut down. So most of the time, institutes are closing their profits out in the last couple days of the last business week before Christmas becomes like an immediate thing. Because, like I say, after today, you got the 21st, 22nd. How many like big traders and banks? Well, when I say big traders, I mean like institutes. How many of them are working the day before Christmas Eve? Not many, right? Like, so they're not going to be working after today. Just the same as the kids finish school today, right? And that's the same thing with me. I'm not going to be streaming and trading all the way up to Christmas. I'm going to be doing some content, focusing more on producing some videos to release over the Christmas period. And then we'll be back in the new year full force. And we'll also be back with the Orion auto trading. Actually hyped, to be fair. Actually hyped. Some of the testing outcomes and shit I've seen is pretty wild. And then we got the EA as well that we're launching. The website's going to be live. We're coming into 2025 hot. And we're actually doing what most other companies do, but in reverse. The reason I say that is because a lot of companies make a big push to get everything done before the end of the year, whereas we're doing a big push to get everything done for the new year. So when everyone's quiet because it's the new year, we're going to be going in hot, meaning that when things do pick back up, all of our new content, all of our new stuff is going to be in place already. Everyone broke after New Year. Well, this is a interesting one because I actually disagree personally. The reason for that is because the reason shops have January sales is because people still have excess cash to use. People are looking for new things to pick up for the year. So, although theoretically you are correct, people have spent all their money. People sign up to the gym. It's how would I say? It's like a New Year's resolution, I guess, right? What's going on, Simon? Now I'm learning the three-stage reversal trading model for the higher time frame requirement. It says structure must line up with your move. Could you please help me understand this? Structure must line up with your move. So, for example, you must have bearish structure to be looking for a sell move. Simply that. Yes, higher time frame requirement is structure must tell you what direction you're following. And for anyone wondering, Simon here is following the three-stage trading system, which is ultimately the framework for the Orion trading system. And you can find the video for that on our YouTube here as well. It's actually a pretty popular one. We have still quite a few of our mentorship students that use that system. So yeah, hopefully that helps you understand it. Higher time frame, what direction is it? Then that lines up with what you're trading. Okie dokie. So we're looking at now. Of course, no problems at all. And don't hesitate to reach out if you need any help, my mate. Do not hesitate. Oh, I'm so sniffly, guys. I do apologise. How's everything going for you? Yeah, good, thanks, man. Really good. Yeah, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, everything's going really good. We're in a bit of a lull at the minute because we've got our website being built. We got the company is starting to tighten up a bit. We're really busy, but then lots of things to come. And then family's all good. My little boy is 7 months now, sitting up on his own, starting to babble out words and stuff. You know, we're excited to see what he's like for his first Christmas because obviously lights and crinkly paper and all stuff like that is the biggest thing to him right now. Also enjoying the fact that he's not going to understand the concept of Christmas properly because after this year, it's game over, mate. Game over. As soon as they're old enough to know what Christmas involves, they're all over it. Whereas at the moment, you could give him a biscuit and he'd be happy, you know? But yeah, I hope you're well, man. I hope everything's good on your end. Yeah, yeah. I got a little boy. I do have a stepson as well who's 11. But it's never the same, you know, when you haven't been there from like tiny. I've known him for 7 years now, so I've been in his life a long time. But it's different, isn't it, when they're your own? But I class him as my son. I wouldn't class him as my stepson. But it's worth clarifying. But yeah, he's awesome. He's called Hudson as well. Not a very common name. My partner took him to a party yesterday, and the woman said, "Wow, it's the first Hudson I've had in 15 years." We're obviously good at picking unique names, I guess. Soon to move to Argentina. Wow, dude, that's awesome. Love that. Love that. And Argentina, if I'm not mistaken, is the first country to pull away from central banks, right? Is that Argentina? I might sound like a complete idiot if that's not. Um, is it Argentina? Let's see. Yeah, I think it is Argentina. That's the one. Yeah, first country to do it, and would not surprise me if many other countries follow. But that's going to be amazing, dude. Are you going over there long term, like moving, or are you going over there just for like 6 months to a year sort of thing? Or like you go in full and staying there? And if so, how does that work? Like visa and stuff? I guess you have to like get a citizenship. Because I know some countries like Australia, they won't give you citizenship unless you have like a skill that they want. For example, a doctor or electrician or something. Yeah, moving there long term, few years, maybe staying there for the rest of my life. Oh, dude, that's awesome. That's such a big move as well. Really cool, man. Love that. Well, you have to let us know what it's like. Because it's one of those things where at the moment they've broken away from central banks, which obviously the big corporate company bigwigs don't like that because they're owned by those people. So in the news and a lot of the news events, you see they're like, oh yeah, they may have broken away from they may have broken away from central banks, but their citizens live in poverty and the country's going to shit and all this. But those news articles are paid for by the people that they broke away from, so they're always going to be negative, right? So I would love to have an insider view as to what is actually going on. It's kind of the same with Russia. They give a lot of Russian propaganda and they say Russia's this, Russia's that, and then you go there and you talk to the people and it's actually totally different. So I would love to know, dude. But that's really, really exciting, man. All the best. If you earn money out, the economy is kind of crap. Yeah, that's because they broke away from the central banks. That's because of that. Yeah, man, for sure. That'll be awesome. Do you have a date? Like a date that you actually go in? Let's go down into, let's go Aussie here. Not sure, but I think the end of January. Nice. That's cool. Yeah, that's the only thing, isn't it? There's a lot of paperwork, a lot of just formalities that you've got to follow. You'll be there for the new year. I never saw this 4-hour low get taken out. Let's have a look and see what happened here. Right, okay, yeah. So remember, guys, money in, money out indicator is available now. You can get it through the PSS store. If you want more information on it, feel free to ask. Here we got now. Okie dokie. So we're just going to go across the NAS 100 here. Have a look at the daily bias. Okay. I'm not going to mark that because it's not actually a confirmed high yet. If we don't close above, or we're not, sorry, not close, but if we don't reach 21053.73 in the next hour, so as long as we don't surpass the previous candle high, then we will have a high in place within here. Yes, that's correct. Yep, that is correct. Yep. So you will see days where it doesn't follow biasing, but for example, 90% of the time, if you look at these, so these are money out scenarios, and obviously you probably know this already if you know the system. These are money out scenarios, and they are shown after a reversal in the higher time frame order flow. Right? So if you look at when these are formed, they're formed here, and this is formed here. 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 So there is generally going to be a pretty decent period afterwards where it runs. Now, this again falls back into the probability side of things, where even if you have a move like this where it goes up for 4 days apparently, forget how many days it is, but it goes up for X amount and then it goes bearish, right? Probability of you giving or you getting entries before we have a bias shift decreases significantly, and it also means that you would have to have a mid to lower time frame reversal in order flow for it to confirm it. So again, the probability becomes less. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, doesn't mean it's not going to happen. The probability of the system is based around the whole concept, not just the days where it goes wrong. So when you say it like you would, for example, biasing for X amount of days, it gives very, very good directional things and directional bias. Sorry, and this is what I was saying before. Like the simplicity of that, so many people would dismiss it in an instant. So many people would dismiss it in an instant. So, like here, for example, this is where we formed bullish bias. So from here, where was that formed here? So we have literally been bullish for 22 days. And from here, yes, we had some time where price moved up, but we have overall gone down in price for 15 days. So some very, very clean biasing given by it. And people really do overlook. Well, I mean, that's what the whole Keep It Simple series as a whole is focusing on, isn't it? That, you know, people just make price so freaking confusing. They like to add all of the ingredients in the world and wonder why the meal doesn't taste right. So this isn't technically valid yet because we haven't cleared this candle. That's why I always say if you're going to set an alert, set it per close so that it will only alert once this closes. So equal highs right here. We got any news today? I haven't even checked. Let me check. Hello, news please. Thanks. 1 hour, 1 minute Michigan consumer sentiment. Ugh. Negative, negative, negative. Janky. Also, I wanted to ask about conflicting biases. Kind of understand. Would like some more clarification. Conflicting biases in terms of the understanding of the bias of your setup and the bias of your trend. So it pretty much goes back into what you asked earlier, which is structure must line up with your move. If you have conflicting biases, then you've got a structure move that's telling you you should look for a sell, for example, so it doesn't line up with your bias. So you have conflicting bias. So you have a conflicting structure bias and a conflicting trending bias, which is separate to the setup itself. So because it's a free stage, you have your biasing, which is made up of higher time frame structure, which gives you your directional bias, if you were. Then you have the lower time frame structure, which is where you find the scenario of your setup within, right? Which can be counter that. And then you have your setup, which may occur either in line or against either bias or structure, if that makes sense. Let me mic this. Let me draw this. So we've got, again, this is gonna be super simple. Trending, which is your bias. Yeah. And then you have structure. So for example, like here would be between point A and point B. So this is your, so this is 1, 2, okay, and then within here, so I'll do a, so for anyone wondering, that's like a really good version of a magnifying glass. In here, okay, you'll see, for example, a shift. Yeah. Which is, if you think about that, is like, you will see that in 1,000,001 different concepts on YouTube and wherever. And let's say you've got an order block in here, right? So, for example, this setup here, which is stage 3, this lines up with the structure. So you have these two that are lining up, but it conflicts higher time frame. So, for example, this is a higher time frame requirement. For example, your higher time frame isn't being met. So this would be conflicting biasing. Or you could also have something along the lines of this, which would also be, in theory, conflicting biasing. You could have something like this, where, let's say, a scenario that would be technically valid within here, let's say pricing decides that, again, you have an order block. Let's say that there's a scenario for long, right? This would technically be a conflicting biasing because your structure in 2 is down, but your setup is up and your bias is up. So you still have 1 and 2 being met, but not all 3. So this is, in theory, 2 versions of conflicting biasing. So all we need to make sure is that bias up, cool, setup, structure up, and then setup itself up. For anyone wondering what the hell I'm talking about, this is the 3-stage trading system. You can find the video on our YouTube. It's just a super simplified structural understanding scenario that you can apply across pretty much any asset. So it works nicely. So we're still looking for sell moves here on Euro. Of course, man. No problems at all. You know, anytime you can ask me any questions, and I'm always happy to, give some information. If it's a concept, I can break it down to the easiest, simplest levels. If I don't have an answer, then I'll simply tell you I don't have an answer. But 95% of the time, I will be able to give you an answer. I am definitely getting ill. I can feel, when you can just feel like you can just feel it coming on. So, look. So we are just gathering data here at the moment. Cool. Wait, what the fuck am I doing on the 2 hour time frame? Why do I even have that there? Get out of my face. 3 day, 2 day, why is that there? 1 week, that doesn't need to be there either. 40 minutes, can get out of here. 15.5, yeah, that's cool. Eight hours can get out of here. That can get out of here. That can get out of here as well. There we go. Fucking around. Jesus. Still on the 2 hour time frame. Is that there still? 2 hours? No. Why is it here then? Wait, I'm confused right now. There we go. Gone. Finally. Right, so we are bullish on this pair. So these are all target highs. And this is the low. You know how I noticed I was on the 2 hour time frame because there was a low that got swept, and I was thinking, I ain't had no alerts for Euro Japanese yen today. Right, so the minute we're looking for expansive moves which aren't coming in because we are in the late end of the London session. We're not in the late end, but we're not in, a high intensity, high volume areas. Super, super high amounts of liquid up in the highs here. Need to send my power voice message 1 second. I might grab a coffee. Maybe that'll sort me out a little bit. Maybe. We've got alerts out and everything, so we don't really need to be overly monitoring. We could. Right, I'll be back. We're back. We're back. We're back. Right, I think I need to adjust the music choice right now. We're gonna go for right. What is going on with this? There we go, finally. Okay, so right now we have highs and lows to watch on AU. We have highs and lows to watch on Euro. Ugh. Let me clear these up. There we go. Hot damn. That coffee is goddamn hot. Obviously, I just made it, so what the hell do I expect? Okay, so remember when we go back to, where were we? Was it UJ? No. You chef? No, AU. So you see how right here we have highs and lows in place. And there's a lot of highs and there's a couple of lows. Now, what this does for us is it gives us a large area that we can highlight specific points that we want to trade from. And then we already know where we want to trade to. Now, whether that's a lower area, which doesn't give us the greatest RR in the world, whether it's an area that sits a little bit higher than that, or you're getting right up into these extremes, as long as your daily bias, okay, is in line with the principle of we want to go lower, you can then look for highs to sell to lows. If your principle in the daily bias is for long, you look for lows to sell to the highs. This is the pinnacle of the expression buy low and sell high. That is what we're doing here. We're selling at highs and we're buying at lows. So that is what is it? If I said to you, what do banks do in the market? Well, they buy low and they sell high. So why would traders do anything else other than that? Yes, it may not give you a trade every single day of the week. Yes, it may not give you a setup every 35 minutes. But if you want to set up it like that, then you're going to have to trade the same system on a lower time frame. Simple as that. High frequency. And you always have to remember that the frequency of something does not represent its value. This is a very common misconception when it comes to trading. People think if you're only trading once a week, that it must be really hard to trade your system, or the trades must be bad, etc. Whereas people seem to think if you're getting a trade every hour or every 5 minutes, that the setups are somehow more valuable or better. They probably will be pretty similar. The only difference is it's going to take longer for a probability basis to play out. So let's say you have a system you execute within the 15-minute. Okay, so we'll just, you know what, we'll just do this. Let's say you have a system that you're executing on the 15-minute, right? So you have the 15-minute, and then you have one on the 1 minute. So this is entry time frames, right? And forget biasing and POI time frames. But let's say your 15-minute time frame is going to give, in theory, 15 times less frequent entries than your 1 minute would. So it means that the 15-minute entry is going to take 15 times longer to play out the same amount of trades to give you your, let's say, 60% probability, right? Over let's say 100 or 1,000. It's going to take 15 times longer for this probability to play out than it would to play out on here. So people look at it and they go, oh, the 1 minute must be better because it gives you more entries, when that's technically not true. If it suits the way that you like to trade, great. But you're also going to take all of the extremes of that probability more frequently. So for example, let's say over the space of, let's say 6 months, right? Over the space of 6 months, kind of, you have a mass losing streak of 4 to 5 trades, right? Which is completely normal on a system with a 60% hit rate. 4 to 5 losing trades, meaning you're going to incur a, let's say, minus 5% at some stage over the space of 6 months. Doesn't mean that you're going to go minus 6 on your account. It just means you may give back 5% of profits at some stage, or you will give back 5% of profits at some stage. Because you're doing it at 1,000 times quicker on this side, you could incur that 5% loss in the space of a day or the space of an hour. So they both have their pros and cons. And if you have a risk management system like you would, and like we all do, just use 1% as the base understanding so we don't have to do 0 points and all that BS. You can trade this. But many people will take 5 losses in a row or 4 losses in a row, and they will up ship and they will move on and they will stop trading it. Meaning that because of their time frame evaluation of said probability, they think it is less probable, or how it makes them feel changes the basis of the probability. When we already know the only thing that changes in terms of probability is the rule set you use to get that probability. If the rule set stays the same, the probability does not change. There may be maybe 1 or 2 factors, for example, broker side factors and then fundamental factors that may shift that. But ultimately, It's always going to give you the same outcome. And how you feel on a given day has no relevance on these statistics. But for some reason, people still let these two things dictate what they do within the market, when in reality, these are only going to give you negative effects, whether how good or how bad it feels. So always remember, when I'm showing you something on the chart and I say, let's look at X, and we have next to nothing to technically look at, that's fine. It does not matter. We're waiting for a rule set that is probability based, statistically proven, and works over a long period of time to play out. We're not waiting for a setup to be delivered. We're waiting for criteria to be filled. We're waiting for objectives to be met. And using the rule set that we understand and know, we can then deploy a managed position that we have zero attachment to, because we do not care if it goes to stop loss or if it goes to TP. Why? Because it's all part of the probability. It's almost like going to a casino, taking a loss and going, this casino's against me. I'm not ever coming in there again. If you can't hack losing, get out of the casino. Now, like I say, there are certain things, especially in the trading industry, there are influencers and, whatever you want to call them, people that will prey on this mindset, and they will prey on your mindset of, I don't want to take a loss, and they will sell and promote things to you that are just so unrealistic. You always have to ask yourself the question, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably fucking is. Don't be so gullible. That's what you need to really think about. And again, you guys in here watching this right now probably don't have this problem, because you spend a lot of time hanging around me and other people that maybe use a similar kind of rule set and understanding. But the kind of people that are preying on the vulnerable and on the people that have not developed the correct mindset, they will consistently avoid their losses, and they won't openly admit a loss, and they'll avoid it and dodge it as much as they can. Or you're going to have people that will just only show you things that they have done or that they are looking to do. For example, I'll happily show you a setup, and if it fails, I say it failed. I actively encourage you guys not to follow me. This isn't a signal service. It's a principle-based stream, educational-based stream, not financial advice. So I think you guys are all very aware of this principle, but you have to make sure, if something seems too good to be true, so if a super high hit rate trading system you can learn in 10 minutes seems too good to be true, it probably is. And normally, the other little clever marketing tactic that these kind of people employ is, on top of preying on your emotion for, I don't want to take a loss, they'll say, well, you can do it if you just pay X amount. So then you are like putty in their hands. You're like easily formed into a customer, which is honestly pretty fucked up. That's why when I say to you guys, if you choose to go and pay for mentoring from me, awesome. If you choose to go and use an indicator that we've monetized, awesome. If you choose to be a VIP member, awesome. But you can do it all without. You can do it all without. The only difference is the speed in which you'll be able to do it. It's kind of like delivery. You want something delivered to your house, next day delivery, you got to pay for that. If you're willing to wait, then you don't have to pay. It's free shipping, right? Let me change this quickly. Honestly, I think I'm more hyped than anyone about the Orion automatic analysis tool. I mean, I might be wrong, but I'm just so excited to be able to free up some more time. The amount of hours I've spent on the charts is kind of sickening, and I understand, you spend the time on the charts for a a return overall. But I think I've paid my chart duty. Okay, what are we saying? 1 hour, 20 minutes. Right, I think we're going to wrap it up. Now, as always, we don't really prepare for a stream ending. We just sort of finish when we think it's time. And I think it's about that time. It's 2:30. It's New York Open. I think we're going to head over to the Discord. We're going to go into the VIP channel, give some love to the VIP, spend some time in there, and cater to their needs for a little while. And then we'll be back on Monday with probably one of the last streams of the year. So we'll be doing a full recap of all of the things that we have come out with this year, all of the systems we have taught, all of the sessions we have hosted, some of the best trades and some of the worst trades. So if you have enjoyed the stream in one way, shape or another, hit that like button. Of course, if you are not a subscriber already, then hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in Monday's stream. Stay tuned for some content that we're going to release over the Christmas period, and I might try and get something out tonight or tomorrow. And I'll see you all on Monday. Have a great weekend, guys. Peace and love to all of you, as always, and I will see you very, very soon.